Welcome to The Hidden Scrolls, where we focus on history, folklore, and mythology. The mythology, folklore, and history of the Golem. The Golem is one of the most enduring figures in Jewish folklore, representing themes of creation, protection, and the consequences of human ambition. The concept of the Golem has evolved over centuries, originating from early Jewish mystical traditions and later becoming a significant element of folklore, literature, and modern pop culture. This presentation delves into the origins, mythology, and historical significance of the golem, examining how it has shaped and been shaped by various cultural influences. Origins and mythology. The word golem derives from the Hebrew term gēlem, meaning shapeless mass or unformed body. It first appears in Jewish texts as a reference to something incomplete or without consciousness. The concept of the golem dates back to the Talmud, where it is mentioned in relation to the creation of Adam. In Sanhedrin 38b, Adam is described as initially being a golem before receiving a soul from God. The Kabbalistic tradition played a crucial role in the development of golem mythology. Kabbalists, particularly in medieval Jewish communities, believed that divine knowledge could grant humans the power to animate lifeless matter through sacred rituals. One of the core methods of bringing a golem to life involved the use of divine words or inscriptions, such as writing the Hebrew word Emet, amt meaning truth, on the creature's forehead. To deactivate the golem, the first letter, Aleph, could be removed, transforming the word into met, mt meaning dead. The Prague Golem and Rabbi Judah Loew. The most famous golem legend originates from 16th century Prague, attributed to Rabbi Judah Loew ben Bezalel, known as the Maharal of Prague. According to legend, Rabbi Loew created a golem from clay from the banks of the Vltava River to protect the Jewish community from anti-Semitic attacks and blood libel accusations. The golem was said to be an enormous figure, possessing great strength but lacking independent thought. Eventually, the golem grew too powerful and uncontrollable. Some versions of the story claim it became violent, forcing Rabbi Loew to deactivate it and hide its remains in the attic of the Old New Synagogue in Prague. The story of the Prague golem became a key part of Jewish folklore, symbolizing both divine protection and the dangers of unchecked power. Folklore and symbolism. The golem has appeared in various interpretations, each reflecting different cultural values and concerns. Some of the key themes associated with golem mythology include protection and defense. The golem is often seen as a guardian figure, created to defend the Jewish people from oppression and violence. It represents the idea of supernatural intervention in times of crisis, reinforcing faith in divine justice. Creation and responsibility. The golem serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of humans attempting to create life. It highlights the potential consequences of power without control or wisdom, drawing parallels to figures like Dr. Frankenstein's monster or modern AI technology. The limits of human knowledge. The inability to fully control the golem symbolizes the limits of human intelligence and the ethical dilemmas of playing God. Many golem stories emphasize humility and the acceptance of human limitations in the face of divine will. Historical and literary influence. Early literature and mysticism. The golem became a common figure in Jewish mystical traditions, particularly within Kabbalistic teachings. Medieval Jewish texts such as the Sefer Yetzirah, Book of Creation, contain instructions on how to create a golem using sacred letters and mystical formulas. Literary influence. The golem legend has inspired numerous literary works, including Gustav Mehring's 1915 novel, The Golem, which depicts the creature as a mystical force within the Jewish ghetto of Prague. Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, 1818, is often considered a modern reimagining of the golem legend, exploring the consequences of creating artificial life. In 20th century literature, writers like Isaac Bashevis Singer incorporated golem stories into Jewish folklore collections, keeping the legend alive. Modern depictions and cultural legacy. The golem has found a place in popular culture, Appearing in films, comics, and video games. Film and television. Der Golem, wie in die Welt kam, 1920, a silent German film directed by Paul Wegener, was one of the earliest cinematic depictions of the golem. The golem has been referenced in television series such as The X-Files, Supernatural, and The Twilight Zone. Comics and graphic novels, both Marvel and DC Comics, have featured golem-inspired characters, such as Marvel's The Golem 1974 and DC's Ragman. Will Eisner's The Golem reimagines the creature in the context of 20th century Jewish struggles. Video games. Golems frequently appear in fantasy RPGs like The Witcher, The Elder Scrolls, and Dungeons & Dragons, often depicted as ancient mystical guardians. In Pokemon, creatures such as Golem and Golett are inspired by the legend. Relevance in the modern world. The Golem legend continues to resonate in contemporary discussions on artificial intelligence, robotics, and bioengineering. Artificial intelligence. Like the Golem, AI systems can be immensely powerful, but pose ethical risks if they become uncontrollable. Military and security. Autonomous drones and robotic soldiers draw parallels to the Golem as protectors that could become dangerous if mishandled. Jewish cultural identity. The Golem remains a symbol of resilience and survival, particularly in Jewish communities that have faced persecution. Conclusion. The Golem is a rich and complex figure that has evolved over centuries, moving from mystical texts to mainstream pop culture. It serves as a symbol of protection, creation, and cautionary wisdom, warning against the consequences of power without control. Whether seen as a hero, a monster, or a metaphor for technological ethics, the Golem remains an essential part of folklore and an enduring subject